Ricola. Just drinking some hot Ricola tea. So we're going to be learning two forms today, and the first form we're learning is more in the intermediate level. For the first form, this form means even if, and the way you make it is you just take a verb stem. So if you have the verb 하다, if you have the verb 먹다, to eat, the verb stem is just 먹. Then you attach 더라도. So 하더라도, 먹더라도. It's only used in hypothetical situations. Specifically, it's only for situations that you think won't happen. I don't think so, but even if. Then you might be wondering, how is this form different than the regular 도 form? For example, if you have 하다, that would become 해도. Now, this 도 form doesn't come after a verb stem. It comes after a conjugated verb. Again, it's this. When you say 더라도, you're implying you don't think it's going to happen. In addition, this form also has a stronger feel than just saying 도. Besides the difference in nuance, most of the time, and there is an exception we'll talk about later in the lesson, most of the time you can switch this form for this form and it will make sense in any sentence, as long as this nuance doesn't matter. 실제 얼굴이 사진과 다르더라도 놀라지 않을게요. 실제 얼굴, your real face. 사진, a photo. 다르다, to be different than a photo. So even if your photo is different than your real face, 놀라다 is to be surprised. 놀라지 않을게요. So I'm not going to be surprised even if your real face is different than your photo. 실제 얼굴이 사진과 다르더라도 놀라지 않을게요. So it implies you don't think it really will happen, but you're just saying it anyway. 점심을 굶더라도 이 돈을 쓸 수 없어요. 점심 is lunch. 굶다 is to starve. So in this case, it's like skip lunch. Even if I skip lunch, 이 돈, so this money, 쓸 수 없어요. So I can't use this money even if it means that I'm skipping lunch. So even if I just don't eat lunch, I just can't use this money. 점심을 굶더라도 이 돈을 쓸 수 없어요. 늦더라도 전화 주세요. 늦다 is to be late. So even if you're late, again, I don't think you will be, but let's just say, even if, hypothetically speaking, you're late, 전화 주세요. Give me a call. 늦더라도 전화 주세요. So please give me a call, even if you're late. 다이어트를 하더라도 식사는 꼭 하세요. 다이어트, so a diet. So 다이어트를 하다 is to go on a diet, to do a diet, literally. Even if you diet, 식사 is eating. That's food. 식사는 꼭, so make sure to. 하세요. So make sure to eat. Even if you're going to diet, at least make sure that you're eating. 다이어트를 하더라도 식사는 꼭 하세요. The next form we're going to be learning is also a form that means even if, and that is ヂ라도. And the way you make it is you start with a verb stem, then you attach 을 if that verb stem ends in a consonant, or you attach just a lir if that verb stem ends with a vowel, followed by ヂ라도. Now, if the verb stem ends with this letter, you don't need to do anything. This form is much less commonly used than either the form 도 or 더라도. So you're not going to see it that much. So if you have a sentence that looks like this, whatever verb, even if B. This means even if A happens, or even if A is, B still happens. B still is. It works like you would expect it to work. This form tends to get used whenever B is something opposite of A. So even if A happens, or even if A is, well, B, which is going to be the opposite of that. It doesn't have to be, though. It just tends to be used in that way a lot. And it doesn't have to show a low chance of happening. This is more simply a strong, even if. Not that I don't think so, but let's just say it. There's one other small thing that you should know about this. This form tends to get used often with the adverbs 비록 and 아무리. It doesn't have to be, but it tends to. 비록 is an adverb that means although, or even if, or even though. And it's used to simply add more emphasis to sentences that have that meaning of even if. And then 아무리, this one means more like however much of something that you do. So it emphasizes it as well, even if, even though, however much you do, however. In fact, you don't even need to know this, that it's used with these adverbs. I just wanted to point it out because you might see them together. 능력이 좋은 사람일지라도 이걸 혼자 다 할 수는 없어요. 능력이 좋다. Someone who is capable. So even if you're someone who's capable, this 일지라도 is from 이다, to be. So you are, so even if you are, 이걸, so 이것을, this thing, 혼자, alone, 다, completely, all of it, all, 할 수는 없어요. Even if you're someone who's capable, you can't do this thing on your own. 능력이 좋은 사람일지라도 이걸 혼자 다 할 수는 없어요. 잠을 3시간 잘지라도 숙제는 다 할 거예요. So even if I were to sleep 3 hours, 숙제는 다 할 거예요. I'll do all the homework. 잠을 3시간 잘지라도 숙제는 다 할 거예요. 조금 부족할지라도 꾸준히 노력해서 성공하겠습니다. 부족하다 is to be not enough, lacking. So even if it's a bit lacking, 꾸준히, constantly, continually, 노력하다, to try, to put in effort. So I'm going to keep trying. 성공하다 is to succeed. So I will constantly keep trying and I will succeed. So even though it's not perfect, 꾸준히 노력해서 성공하겠습니다. I'm going to keep working hard and I'm going to succeed. 조금 부족할지라도 꾸준히 노력해서 성공하겠습니다. 눈에 보이지 않을지라도. So even if you can't see it, 많은 사람들이, many people, 일하다, to work. 많은 사람들이 일하고 있어요. So even if you can't see it, there are a lot of people who are working. A lot of people are out there working, even if you can't see it. 눈에 보이지 않을지라도 많은 사람들이 일하고 있어요. Let's go back to the 도 form, the regular 도 form. For example, 하다 would become 해도. This uses the conjugated verb. There's one more usage that this form has that neither 더라도 and 찌라도 have. This regular 도 form can also be used to say even if. So if you take any of our sentences that we have, you can swap them for this form, and the sentence will still make sense. You can swap the other forms for this, but you can't always go this way to those ones. There's one situation where it wouldn't make any sense, and that's when you're saying something already happened. So anytime you're talking about something that's already happened, and you want to say even though, you could not use 더라도 or 찌라도. For example, if you wanted to make this sentence, even though I was tired, I did my homework. You could not use 더라도 or 찌라도 because it already happened. You have to use this form. Okay, that's the lesson. Thank you everyone for coming, and I will see you again next week. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.